What's up everybody? How you guys doing today? My name is David Franco and I am going to do a quick unboxing and first look of this, the R36T Retro TV. Hold on, it's not a TV. It's a retro gaming handheld that looks like a retro TV, which is very meta of them. So of course, thank you to the makers of this hopefully awesome handheld for sending this out my way. Really appreciate it. But first, let's check out some specs. The operating system is ELEC, E-L-E-C. I'm not really too familiar with that. Honestly, I'm gonna have to look that up. Processor quad-core Cortex A35 up to 1.5 gigahertz. System memory 1 gig and 8 gig. Emulators, here we go. PSP, Dreamcast, Nintendo DS, Nintendo 64, PS1, PS2, and PS3? Is this really going to emulate PlayStation 3 games? Or unless maybe that's Capcom selection. I'm not sure. Display 3.5 inch 640 by 480 IPS. IPS is always good. A 3000 milliamp hour battery and Wi-Fi. Hold on, check it out. Supports RGB ambient lighting. Oh, you had me at RGB. But yeah, so this is just my first unboxing. I'm pretty sure they're sending me multiple colors, which I really appreciate, guys. Thank you so much. That is so generous of you. And as you can see, the handheld actually arrives in this carrying case. And I gotta say, that's a really nice touch. That is awesome. And it looks like it's going to protect it from falls because it's definitely a hard style case. Very cool with this red accent zipper. So let's open it up, and I believe this is the white one. Again, they're sending me multiple, which is awesome of you guys. Thank you so much. So let's take this out. And let's see what it looks like. Got some protective foam on top. Wow. Oh my god. It really does look like a retro TV. Dude, that is so cool. That is really cool. Alright, let's take this plastic off. Oh, there's a little tab right here in the middle. There you go. Very nice. Wow, that is so cool. Look at that. Guys, it legitimately looks like a TV. So we've got this D-pad, which looks like an analog stick. It's not. It's a giant D-pad, which is awesome. We've got A, B, X, and Y, start and select. This might be the power button. And on the bottom left, I'm not sure what that is. We'll figure that out over time. We do have this joystick with RGB around it, so that's going to be awesome. I wonder if RGB comes around the sides. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it. But guys, right there is going to be really sweet. Up top, we've got dual USB-C ports and aux port for headphones. We've got volume up, volume down, and on the right side, oh, there it is, the power button. So let's turn it on. And the little R button, I'm assuming that means reset. Dude, that IPS display is kicking in already. Look how vibrant the colors are from angles. That is really cool. And we do have a little micro SD slot for storage and gaming and all that stuff. And on the back, we can't forget about this. We have R1, R2, L1, and L2. And on the bottom, we've got the speaker. Wow. And there is that RGB I love so much. Wow, okay. Well, hold on. First of all, this is an unboxing. So let's see what else is in the case. We've got an instruction manual. Honestly, I'm not going to need that. It's a handheld. You turn it on, you play games. That's all I need to know. And you also get what looks like USB-C to USB-A. Okay, here we go. So let's see what we've got here. So we've got a favorites thing. So if you want to, whoops, back here, you can choose favorites. So it looks like by default, they've got Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, and Ultimate. And yes, I played all 3 of those on their actual consoles. The D-pad definitely requires a little bit of force when pressing down. But thankfully, you can use this stick as well. So it's not a huge deal. So let's see what we've got here going through each and every system. Amstrad CPC. MAME, which is always arcade. And guys, look at this. Hold on. 1,708 titles. And of course, if you want to add more, you can. That is so awesome. Atari 2600. Very nice. 31 games for that. Capcom. Okay, there you go. CPS. Capcom Play System 1, CPS 2, and CPS 3. Okay, because I was going to say, there's no way this thing is actually going to play PlayStation 3 games. At least I don't think it can. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. PC Engine, 359 games. And we can quickly go through the menu. Oh my god, that's a lot of games. Famicom, NES, Game Boy, very cool. Super Famicom, Super NES, Nintendo 64, a personal favorite of mine. And by default, we've got 181 games. But again, if you want to add your own games, you can. Game Boy Color, awesome. That is cool. 2,097 games. Yo, if you tell me that there's nothing to play, you're just crazy. Game Boy Advance, big fan. DS, Sega SG-1000. I have to look that up. I'm sure, I mean, I've probably played it, but in a different form. And it looks like it's mostly Japan, so it may have been a Japanese exclusive. Game Gear, yes, I own a Game Gear. Guys, I own most of these that I've already shown, which is really cool. Mega Drive. Mega Drive 32X. Wow, they've got 32X games on here. Do they have Virtual Fighter? Virtual Racing. Now, of course, if I wanted to own, add Virtual Fighter, then I could. Mortal Kombat 2. Dude, that's so cool. Dreamcast. Oh my god. One of my favorite consoles of all time. Now, by default, you only have 5 games, but I'll say it again. If you want to add more games, you can. Neo Geo, which I've never owned, actually. Neo Geo Pocket, never owned that either. PlayStation, obviously, I have that. By default, we've got 23 games. Dude, look at this design. Like, it's so cool. It legitimately looks like a retro TV. You even have the rounded corners up here, which kind of has that CRT bubble effect. That is too cool. Honestly, you guys did a really, really good job with this one. I love it. PSP, 27 games. And all games. There you go, guys. So, by default, all games, 18,543 titles. That is crazy. So, let me just launch something random here. Let's go to the Super Nintendo. That's always a personal favorite of mine. And I'm assuming you can skip faster. Or, hold on, look, you can search. It's not touchscreen, obviously. But let me just put the word super in and see what comes up. I am curious. Okay. Okay, a lot of titles have the word super, but I was more so looking for Super Mario. So let's scroll down a little bit. And look at that, guys. All those Mario games to play. Super Mario All-Stars is so good, so good. It basically takes the old school Mario games and gives them a fresh coat of paint. And me personally, I love this look. So check it out. How cool is that? That is so sweet. Of course, we can turn the volume up. Original Mario Brothers, Mario Brothers 2, which, fun fact, was never meant to be a Mario game. Look it up. Super Mario Brothers 3 was probably my favorite classic Mario game on the NES. Yes, over the original. So let's open that up for a second and see how it performs. Dude, it's so nice to say it with a fresh coat of paint. Look at those colors. Very, very nice. An extremely bright display. God, listen to that music. It's so cool. Alright, so now we can start using A. So you can use a D-pad, or you can also use the stick. Obviously, I recommend using the D-pad for the classic games. Dude, I love this music so much. It is a vibe. Like, this is definitely a vibe. I love this game. This is definitely something I'm gonna have to play off camera. Anyway, guys, there you have it. Oh, and by the way, what is this? Oh, that's the function, I guess. FN function. So you can probably use that for something. But pretty cool. So, save and quit. I wonder how you go home. Or maybe you hold this? Or both of these together? So press again to quit. Okay, there you go. Look at that. We are learning as we go. Anyway, shout out to the makers of this incredible handheld. I'm very, very impressed so far. And again, I'm so excited to open up even more of these when I get back from Seaside. And speaking of, when I get back from Seaside, Stay tuned for my in-depth review. Oh my gosh, look at this. 181 N64 games. This is so cool. Blast Core, what a game. What a great game. Anyway, guys, if you want to buy this for yourself, I'm going to link it right below on Amazon. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Happy gaming.